Hello, welcome to Author Spotlight. Today we will be talking about Anne Radcliffe. Before Gothic novels were filled with monsters, madness, and spectacle, there was Anne Radcliffe. She believed fear should expand the imagination, not brutalize it. And in her novels, terror is not meant to overwhelm the reader. It is meant to awaken attention. Anne Radcliffe was writing at the end of the 18th century, at a moment when readers were becoming fascinated by mystery, ruins, and emotional intensity. But Radcliffe did something quietly revolutionary. She took the Gothic setting, castles, forests, corridors, distant landscapes, and made the inner life the true site of drama. Her novels are not driven by violence. They are driven by perception. Radcliffe understood that fear begins not with what we see, but with what we anticipate. Anne Radcliffe famously distinguished between terror and horror. Horror shows you the thing. Terror makes you imagine it. Horror closes down the mind. Terror stretches it. And Radcliffe believed that terror, when guided carefully, could refine moral awareness rather than destroy it. Her novels ask the reader to wait, to listen, to interpret, rather than to recoil. In The Mysteries of Udolpho, Radcliffe surrounds her heroine with vast landscapes, echoing corridors, and long silences. The mountains feel oppressive. The castle feels watchful, but the terror does not come from supernatural assault. It comes from uncertainty, from not knowing how to interpret what one sees. Udolpho teaches the reader patience. Fear builds slowly, and reason must learn to keep pace with it. In The Romance of the Forest, Radcliffe shifts the landscape slightly. The forest becomes both refuge and threat. Nature shelters, but it also conceals. Once again, fear arises not from explicit danger, but from suggestion, from half-glimpsed truths and delayed explanations. Radcliffe's genius lies in making the reader feel the pressure of uncertainty without ever surrendering to chaos. Radcliffe's heroines are often misunderstood as passive. They are not. They observe, they reflect, they remain morally awake under pressure. Fear tests them, but it does not corrupt them. Emily St. Aubert and Adeline are not reckless adventurers. They are interpreters of experience. Their strength lies in discernment. One of the most distinctive features of Radcliffe's Gothic is that explanation eventually arrives. The supernatural recedes. Order is restored. This is not a failure of imagination. It is a moral choice. Radcliffe believed that fear should sharpen reason, not replace it. Terror is allowed to test the soul, but not to dominate it. Anne Radcliffe matters because she reminds us that fear does not have to dehumanize. It can instruct, it can awaken attention, it can deepen discernment, and then it can release us. Her Gothic is not about being trapped in darkness. It is about learning how to move through it. Radcliffe teaches us to read fear carefully, to ask what it reveals and what it asks of us. In her novels, terror becomes a teacher, not a tyrant. And that quiet distinction is her enduring gift. Thank you for joining me for this author spotlight. Until next time, keep listening to the spaces between the words.